I set my fork down, pretending to sip my water. Mom, radiant in a soft pink blouse, raises her wine glass. Tessa's moving in next week, she announces. My stomach flips. I glance at Dad pouring champagne into crystal glasses I haven't seen in years. Mom's fine china is out. Not Sunday dinner, the fancy plates. Everything feels orchestrated, like a carefully planned ambush. Tessa beams. I've already packed most of my things, she says casually. My parents exchange satisfied smiles. To new beginnings, Dad says, and glasses clink. Mine stays on the table. I notice the boxes stacked in the garage, each labeled Tessa, books, winter clothes, childhood toys. Mom waved off paying her rent again last month. And now this, temporary storage, she called it, like my home had been waiting for someone else's convenience. I set my glass down and reach for my purse. Actually, I say, placing a manila envelope on the table. I have news too. I slide out the papers. The house sale agreement. 30 days to move. Tessa's flute slips from her hands and shatters. Mom's smile falters. Dad frowns. You can cancel? He murmurs. There's a cooling off period. I shake my head. It's final. I made this decision for a reason. Ruth, sitting quietly beside me, squeezes my hand. Good for you, she whispers. By Tuesday, the calls start. Aunt Leia whispers accusations. Dad's friends preach about sisterhood. Facebook turns into a battlefield. Tessa posts a sepia-toned selfie with the caption, "Family is everything." Mom comments, "We're here, Angel." I delete the app before anger consumes me. I gather proof. Roof repairs, a water line replacement, a furnace breakdown, property taxes, sleepless nights. I compile every receipt, every note. The paper stack feels heavy, but it gives me power. I email my advisor, Barbara, for a sanity check. Her reply, facts will always speak louder than emotion. Present them clearly to key voices. That Tuesday, I set the table with folders, bills, and bank statements. When my parents arrive, Tessa in tow, I speak calmly. See what the house cost? Roof $11,000, water line $8,200, furnace $5,000. I sold it to protect myself. Dad studies the totals. Mom gazes at the photo of me holding the keys, triumphant. Tessa crosses her arms. Creative accounting, she says. You just don't want me here. Barbara steps in, measured. Enabling isn't love if it leaves someone bankrupt and exhausted. This was a prudent choice. Thomas, a friend from work, adds, I can help you move. There's even a position opening on my team if you want it. He hands me a card. Tessa pockets it without looking. I'll think about it, she mutters. That night, pack boxes as if I'm sealing the past. Plates hiss in newspaper. Books fall into cardboard. Photos are carefully stacked. The photo from closing day. Me on the porch, keys in hand, a grin of triumph on my face gets a place of honor on the living room wall. The first morning in my new apartment, sunlight floods the room. Payment is lower. My pulse is steady. Home feels like a choice, not a trap. Sunday dinner in my old house used to be a ritual of pressure, obligation, and unspoken rules. Now, in my new apartment, I call a small dinner with Ruth and Thomas. Dad asks about my photography class. Mom listens. Tessa shows her new badge, junior coordinator. After dessert, she squeezes my hand. Thanks for the wake up, she says. I squeeze back. Finally, home is a boundary I live, not a cage I endure. Later that week, I sit at my desk, sorting bills and planning my finances. Every repair, every expense, every sleepless night has led to this. Thomas drops by with moving boxes left in the hallway, helping without complaint. I feel the weight of the past months lift, little by little. Ruth calls. You did the right thing, she says again, but this time with no hesitation in her voice. You chose yourself and that matters. I glance at the porch photo again. That grin isn't just triumph. It's survival, clarity, and strength. No one can take that from me. 3 weeks later, Thomas and I carry the last box into my sunlit downtown flat. I set the photo on a shelf where the morning light hits it perfectly. The apartment is smaller than the house, yes, but it feels alive, manageable. My pulse is steady. Peace has a different rhythm here. Sunday dinner arrives, and I cook a small meal for myself and Ruth. Dad calls to check in. Mom texts a short message. Tessa is busy with work and moving into her own apartment temporarily. For the first time, I feel the boundaries hold. Not walls, not silence, but respect. That night, as I lie in bed, I realize that independence isn't just about money or space. It's about the courage to choose yourself, even when the world expects otherwise. And for the first time in a long time, home is where I am truly.